So, I want to ask you a genuine question. Where are you rushing to? Not the version of that question that sounds motivational or dramatic. I mean, in a very practical way. When you think about your life right now, where exactly are you trying to get to so quickly? A lot of the pressure we feel in life doesn't actually come from our goals. It comes from the invisible timelines we've created in our heads. You know the one. By this age, I should have this figured out. By now, my career should look like this. By now, I should be more stable, more ahead, more settled. And before we realize it, we're moving through our lives like we're late for something. But late for what exactly? Recently, I found myself comparing my month 3 to somebody else's year 5. And that comparison will never make sense. So before we go any further, let me introduce myself. My name is Treasure. I'm an artist and a writer. And on this channel, I document my journey back to myself. And I hope to inspire you to build a life that feels like yours. And today I want to talk about something I've been thinking about recently, which is the idea of rushing through life. Because if I'm honest, I'm someone who likes progress. I like movement. I like feeling like I'm building something. I have goals and I have visions of the kind of life I want to live. But I've noticed something about myself. Sometimes I'm not just working towards my goals. I'm trying to fast forward my life. I'm trying to skip to the part where everything is already established. The part where my career feels solid. My creative work is fully formed. My life feels organized. And everything looks the way I imagined. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized something important. That version of life doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's built slowly in the part we're usually trying to rush past. The learning stage, the experimenting stage, the stage where things are still uncertain. And that's exactly the stage I'm in right now. I'm building things slowly. I'm figuring out what works for me creatively and learning more about who I am and how I want to live. Sometimes that process feels slow, very slow, not stagnant, just slow. And for a while, I thought that meant I needed to push harder, to do more, and to stretch myself more. But slowly, I've started to feel like this season in my life is actually the opposite. It's patience. It's learning to stay where I am without constantly trying to rush ahead. And that's hard when you have ambition, because ambition makes you want to move quickly. It makes you want results. It makes you want to see the final picture. Life doesn't really unfold that way. There's a balance between doing your part and letting life unfold in its own time. I don't believe in overworking yourself till you're exhausted or stretching yourself so thin that you're disconnected from your own life. But I do believe you have to do your part. You work on the things that matter the most to you. You stay committed to what you're building. And then you allow space for rest, for timing, for life, for the things you can't control. There's a quote by a Chinese philosopher that I really like. I don't know how to say his name, but it says, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." If you look at nature, nothing is rushing. Trees don't rush to grow. The seasons don't rush to change. Everything unfolds slowly, yet everything happens exactly when it's meant to. But as humans, we've convinced ourselves that if we're not constantly pushing forward, we're doing something wrong. And these days, it's so easy to carry that mindset without even noticing. You start measuring your progress against people you barely know. You start feeling the pressure to have everything figured out immediately. But life is not just the outcome. Life is the process. I genuinely believe that when you follow something honestly, when you follow something that truly matters to you, life has a way of responding. Maybe not instantly, maybe not how you imagined, but it responds. Opportunities appear, people come into your life, and doors open that you never even knew existed. But that only happens when you give the process time. You can't rush something that's meant to unfold. So if you've been feeling like you're behind recently, or everyone else seems to be moving faster than you, I want you to come back to this question. Where are you rushing to? Because the life you're trying to reach isn't somewhere far in the future. It's being built right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.